The village drunk was rambling on. Fox girls have soft skin, beautiful creatures, and they fall in love so easily. The kids knew this topic was forbidden, listened with every bit of their being. Then Diako's father spotted them from across the distance and shouted, "Get away from that lunatic!" As he stormed over, he snapped at the old man. "How many times have we told you not to fill children's heads with this filth?" The drunk met his gaze without flinching. "You should tell the truth to your son." They were so caught up in their argument that no one noticed the malicious presence watching them from the shadows. After that incident, Diako's father took him to see the priest. The priest explained that the demon had invented the fox girl legend to lure villagers into crossing the wall and entering the dark forest. Countless warriors had ventured in over the years, each one brimming with confidence, only to vanish into the demon's clutches without a trace. But this year was different. 99 years had passed without a single person crossing the wall. One more year, and the demon in the dark forest would finally starve and die. It needed human souls to survive. Diako was curious, even desperate, to see what lay beyond the wall, but he knew the price for such action would be devastating, so he swallowed his questions. They returned home, but in the dead of night, Diako awoke to screams tearing through the village. He bolted upright and saw the neighboring houses consumed by flames. He called out for his parents, but no answer. He ran outside to look for them, but the moment he opened the door, saw his father locked in a brutal fight with the man dressed in black. His father spotted him and shouted, "Mina, save him!" Then Diako noticed her, a fox girl standing just a few feet away. She locked eyes with him. "Follow me." Diako stared in disbelief. "Fox girls are real?" His father's voice rang out again, desperate. "Listen to Mina, she'll protect you." Before Diako could react, the fox girl grabbed his arm and pulled him into a run. He stumbled, confused, but forced himself to keep up. They were almost at the wall when a deafening crack split the air, and another masked man materialized from the flames. Mina stopped and pinned the masked man to the ground with magic and shouted, "I broke through the wall. Cross it now. They can't survive on the other side. Wait for me there." He bolted toward the wall, but the second he crossed it, he froze. A dark forest loomed ahead, and fear rooted him to the spot. He couldn't take another step forward. He glanced back and saw a masked man coming after him. With no other choice, he ran into the forest. The man caught up almost instantly, but a dark force wrapped around him, swallowed him whole, and he vanished. Diako, terrified out of his mind, kept running until his foot caught on something and he slammed into the ground. Pain shot through his leg, and as he lifted his head, he saw several wolves watching him from between the trees. He tried to get up and run, but blacked out. When he came to, a woman was staring down at him. He sat up quickly, startled, and realized his leg didn't hurt anymore. It was completely healed. Even though he'd never seen her in the village, he asked, "Did the fox girl save you too?" She didn't answer. "I need to get back to the wall. Mina's waiting for me." Still nothing. She just watched as he got to his feet and started walking away. He hadn't made it far when the wolves reappeared, circling closer, ready to attack. Then the woman was suddenly beside him. The wolves immediately retreated. They feared her, even though she carried no weapon. By the time they reached the wall, the sun was rising. Mina was nowhere to be found. Worse, the entire village was nothing but ash and smoke. Diako's stomach dropped. Then he heard it, his father's voice calling from beyond the wall. He started forward, but the woman spoke for the first time. "We need to go back into the forest." He said, "No, I'm going to my father." The woman's eyes sharpened. "You don't see the demons staring at you?" Only then did Diako notice one of the masked men standing just beyond the wall, glaring straight at them. And in that instant, the man raised his hand and a hyena materialized. The creature crossed the wall without hesitation and charged toward them. "Run!" the woman shouted. "More will come." They fled back into the forest. Diako asked about the demons. The woman answered, "Long ago, there was only a simple wooden fence around your village. Storms would knock it down and wolves, other creatures, would get in. Then one day, an old fox came to help. It enchanted the wall. Animals couldn't attack the village anymore. But every time a human crossed it, the spell weakened. The wall started breaking. So eventually, people just stopped crossing. And over time, the spell grew stronger and stronger." She glanced over her shoulder. "But that kind of power draws demons. They feed on enchantments like that." But Diako shook his head immediately. "No, that's not possible. Witchcraft is forbidden in our village. The priest blesses the wall every week and pours holy water around it. That's why it's strong. That's why the forest demon can't enter our village." The woman didn't argue. Diako's voice broke. "Please, help me save my family." She shook her head slowly. "I can't cross the boundary, and even if I could, the demons have probably already captured everyone. I can't fight that many alone." She paused. "That voice you heard? It was likely theirs. They mimic their victims to lure out survivors." When she saw the tears streaming down his face, her expression softened. "I can take you to relatives or family friends in other villages." But the only person Diako knew outside the village was Mina, and he'd barely seen her for a few seconds the night before. Still, he said, "I want to find Mina. She can defeat the demons." The woman's frown deepened. "There are dozens of fox clans in this forest. You'll never find her without knowing which one she belongs to. And even if you did," she held his gaze, "foxes are tricksters. You shouldn't trust them." When night fell, the woman noticed Diako was exhausted and starving. She disappeared briefly, then returned with an apple and told him to sleep in the branches for safety. But the moment he bit into it, drowsiness washed over him, and he collapsed at the base of the tree instead. Sometime after midnight, a sound jolted him awake. He opened his eyes and saw a leopard creeping toward him. But just as panic seized him, the leopard shimmered and transformed into the woman. Diako scrambled to his feet and bolted. She chased him through the trees until he burst into an open field. She stopped at the forest's edge and called out, "Don't be afraid. I only left to drive off the hyenas, the ones the demons sent. They were close." But Diako noticed she couldn't step beyond the tree line. Relief surged through him, and he walked away. When dawn broke, Diako spotted a foxman in the distance. After hearing Diako's story, the foxman said, "That woman is the demon of this forest, the one your priest always warned you about. If you'd stayed any longer, she would have devoured you." Then he smiled reassuringly. "But don't worry, you're safe now. I'll take you to Mina." Diako followed him until they reached a cave. "Go inside," the foxman said. When Diako's eyes adjusted to the darkness, he saw an empty cage sitting in the shadows. Dread twisted in his stomach, but something deeper urged him forward. He stepped deeper into the cave, and his breath caught. There, locked inside another cage, was his father.